Barbecue chicken. Baked chicken.
Barbecue chicken.
And you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.
What is going on, Raider Nation, man? We get another W today against the LA Chargers. Now, I know I didn't do a pregame preview before this game, obviously, Us was busy, but I just got back from the game. As you guys can tell, I'm slowly losing my voice right now, but I got back from Allegiant Stadium, man, and what a game, man. Our third W in a row. The Raiders are starting to put everything together. Everything is starting to gel together, especially the coaching staff, offense, defense, special teams, the whole 9 yards. This team is finally learning how to win games, man. If you guys already know, the beginning of the season, man, we started off really slow, and there's been a lot of games that we could have easily won this year, but we didn't, and it just seemed like we just struggled to finally put games away. But man, I can say with some confidence, man, this team played a complete game top to bottom, offensively and defensively. Like I said, Derek Carr did his thing out there. Josh Jacobs did his thing out there. Our defense, man, give them a lot of credit. They did their thing out there, as well as my guy Chandler Jones, who is a guy that I'm gonna talk about a little bit more later on. But man, we beat an AFC West rival in the LA Chargers, a big win for the Raiders, a big victory, and it just keeps that momentum going. We're taking things one game at a time, and the fact that we got 3 dubs in a row is a huge momentum shifter for this season. And I know we got a short week going into LA on Thursday night, so hopefully we can handle business and keep that same energy going week after week. But first things first, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that came out to Las Vegas this weekend, came out to the Blackout Party, was a part of the Blackout Party bus, and also was there at the games, just showing y'all Us a lot of love out there, man. It's always a great time to be around the Raider Nation and just have a good time, and on top of all that, get a huge ass W, man. I did vlog around the stadium throughout this game, so I'll hopefully drop that sometime pretty soon once I get my whole schedule together and whatnot with the whole YouTube thing. But that's besides the point right now. Let's talk about this W and how we went out there and whooped some candy ass and beat the Chargers 27-20. Now, the first thing I do want to talk about in this game was our defense. Our defense held it down in today's game against a high-powered Chargers team. Keenan Allen was out there talking his shit, saying barbecue chicken against this defense. But this defense basically made that motherfucker look like barbecue chicken out there, and we was holding it down, man. There was so many drives that this defense came through and forced a 3-and-out or forced a punt and gave the ball right back to our offense. And I'm gonna talk about the offense in a little bit, but there's so many players that really contributed in today's game. One of those guys being Chandler Jones, man. He finally showed up about damn time. You already know he didn't have no sacks throughout this whole season, but in this game alone, Chandler Jones came away with 3 sacks. If you were to look at the rest of his stat line, he had 6 total tackles, 3 sacks, like I said, 2 tackles for loss, and had 1 pass deflection with 5 quarterback hits. He had a huge day in today's game, and he really contributed to this team getting a W overall. Another player that finally returned in this game and really played a pivotal role out there was none other than Nate Hobbs, man. He was out there all over the field getting a lot of tackles, had 8 total tackles in this game. Now, I do got to give another huge shout out to the big O's, Isaiah Polamau. He had his first sack in this game, and he was definitely all over the field as well. Max Crosby's always going to be Max Crosby. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with on the defensive side of the ball. But overall, like I said, as a defense, they really held it down. They had multiple stops in this game, which was huge, especially helping out the offensive side of the ball. And if you really think about it, though, our defense only gave up 1 touchdown, and that was at the end of the game, when Keenan Allen wanted to talk his shit, but you know what, at the end of the day, they took that L and he could take his candy ass back home. The other touchdown was a pick 6 from the offense, so I don't really blame the defense on that. When our offense was struggling out there, our defense picked up. Josh Jacobs had a huge fumble in this game early on, but our defense was able to prevail, and they were able to bail out the offense by forcing the Chargers to go 3-and-out. Now, both teams would go back and forth, and the Raiders wouldn't really get on the board with the touchdown until later on in the second quarter, I believe so, where Josh Jacobs got his touchdown of this game, and giving the stadium some type of life. The Raider Nation really showed out in this game. There was a lot of fans out there, obviously, because there's not really a lot of Chargers fans, but you know what, I did see a couple of blue out there here and there, but for the most part, it was blacked out. Like we all expected. Now going into halftime, the Chargers kicked a couple of field goals to go up 13-10, and we had like about 20-something seconds on the clock, and you know, Derek Carr and this offense moved down the field pretty well, and we were in field goal range to tie the ball game up before the half. And Daniel Carlson did something that we don't really see quite often, and that is missing a field goal, man. And you know what, as much as we could all be frustrated at that, most of us wasn't really that frustrated, because going into the second half, we knew we still had a chance out there. And shout out to the defense again, because coming out of the half, our defense comes through. Nate Hobbs gets a fumble recovery, we get the ball right back, and man, let's move over to the offensive side of the ball, because the offense, especially in the second half of the game, really showed out, man. You know, Derek Carr finds Davante Adams for a huge touchdown, a real huge touchdown to put the Raiders up 17-13, man. And that catch that Davante Adams had in the end zone was crazy. And to see our offense actually capitalize off of a turnover is really great to see, because that's something that we definitely need to see more often throughout the season. If our defense makes any kind of turnovers, now I know that our defense don't really make a lot of turnovers, but if they do get any turnovers out there, the offense has got to capitalize on each and every one of those mistakes. But just when you thought the offense was done and Davante Adams was done, nah, Josh McDaniels has something up his sleeve. He drew up a flea flicker, a beautifully drawn play. Derek Carr puts it on the money, man, and finds Davante Adams for another huge touchdown to get the whole Raider Nation pumping throughout this game, man. And the Raiders went up even more, 24-13. If there's one positive takeaway that I could say about Josh McDaniels, is the fact that he called a great game today, man, and drawing up the right plays at the right time. Obviously, he didn't have a perfect game, but you know, for the most part, there was a lot of positive plays, and we were able to drive down the field and make plays and score points. And just to see that Derek Carr to Davante Adams connection just look as good as they did out there, man, really had me hyped up. And I know the rest of the Raider Nation was hyped up as well. After that, basically the Chargers went out there and scored one more touchdown with Keenan Allen, a lucky ass touchdown, I would say. So overall, this was just a great team win, and this is definitely the Raiders team that we all expected out of the gate. You know, week one, obviously there was a lot of hurdles that we had to jump, and we struggled. You know, we had a really rocky road, but we're finally coming together. We're finally winning games. We're finally getting it now. And hopefully, like I said before, we could take the same energy moving forward and win out the rest of these games and go into the playoffs, man. It's still a long way to go, but I feel like this team is finally getting it. I do got to give a couple of huge shout outs to a couple of players that really stood out in this game other than Chandler Jones. First up being our quarterback, Derek Carr. You know, he went out there, he made the right throws out there. Of course, he's not going to be perfect out there, but he made some of the right plays at the right time, the right throws here and there. He did miss Matt Collins wide open in the end zone on my side of the end zone where I was sitting at, which I was really pissed off, because we didn't really see any touchdowns on my side. Most of it was on the other side by the Win Club, and the only time we could have had a touchdown, Derek Carr tries to force it to Davante Adams. I don't know what the hell he was doing out there, but hey, at the end of the day, we got that W, so that's all that matters. You know, Derek Carr went 16 for 30 in this game, 250 yards, had 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Now that interception, I'm not going to really blame on him, because it was a deflected pass, and you know, the defender got it and was able to return it for a touchdown. But Derek Carr being the guy out there leading his team to victory is just something that I love to see. Now Josh Jacobs, on the other hand, is going to be Josh Jacobs, man. This dude is going to be feeding out there, man. He's going to be balling out there, doing what he does best, man. And he had 26 carries in this game for 144 yards and a touchdown. Of course, Josh Jacobs is the glue that holds this whole offense together, and when he shines out there, the rest of this offense shines out there, especially Davante Adams. Man, talk about being an elite wide receiver. Talk about being the #1 wide receiver. Talk about reminding people who you are. And Davante Adams had 8 receptions in this game for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. Really balled out in this game. Like I said, as a whole, this team really did their job, and I'm just really happy to see how everything just came together, because right now the Raiders are 5-7. We're 3-2 at home. So hopefully we could keep this momentum going. I know I've been saying that over and over again in this video, but it's true. So with that said, Raider Nation, I know winning a game like this just makes the rest of the week feel much better. But I want to know your thoughts on this game. What is one thing that really stood out to you guys, and how confident are you guys with this Raiders team going into LA on Thursday Night Football to play the Rams without a quarterback and possibly without Aaron Donald? Do you guys feel like we could come out of that with another W and we could possibly, you know, go 6-7? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. All right, Raidernation, that is all I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, if this is the very first time you come across my channel and you love the Las Vegas Raiders, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. Until the next video, this is your boy Simone Raider, and your boy is
Started off in Oakland, now we here. Thought that we was done, we just hit another gear. Look, started off in Oakland, now we here. Hey, pull up with the nation in the silver black gear. Look, 4 games straight, we in the playoffs. Shout out to the Chargers fans, y'all enjoy